So let's do a comparison of the differences between the Galaxy S25 and the Galaxy A35. So the flagship Galaxy S25 comes with that standard $800 price tag, and we're comparing it to the Galaxy A35, which if you get it unlocked, it comes around $200, but you can get it on prepaid for free. So we're comparing an $800 device with a free device. That is the first difference that we see. The next difference that we're going to look at is going to be the weight. The S25 is a more lightweight device compared to the heavier A35, and it does have to do with several factors, including battery and overall size, but the more portable device is the S25. Both of these devices have really great build quality, but there is a difference. The S25 is slightly better build quality because it has an aluminum frame versus the plastic frame, and both of these devices have glass front and glass back. Next difference is the IP68, IP67 dust and water resistance. The S25 is better at keeping water and dust out. You get IP68, which will keep your device safe for up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes, while the cheaper A35 has IP67, dust and water resistance, up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. So not a huge difference, but there is one. Although both devices are rocking a fast 120 Hz refresh rate, the S25 has a very bright screen, which has 2600 nits, and the A35 averages around 1000 nits. For software, although they are both running One UI from Samsung, you're getting 7 major years of updates on the S25 versus only 4 on the A35. You got a better overall, faster, more powerful processor on the S25 versus you're getting a mid-range processor on the A35. Next is storage. Although both start off at 128 gigs of internal storage, the S25 doesn't have expandable storage, while the A35 has a micro SD card. That's a huge advantage. Next, we have a huge difference in base model of RAM. You got 12 gigs of RAM on the S25 versus only 6 on the mid-range. Although both phones have 3 cameras, sensors on the back, the S25 has a better overall camera setup. You have a 50 megapixel main, 10 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide. Now the A35 has a 50 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel macro, but you shoot 8K on the S25 versus 4K on the A35. You got more newer Bluetooth 5.4 on the S25 versus 5.3 on the A35. Both have fingerprint readers under the display, but the S25 has the better ultrasonic reader versus the optical one on the A35. And also, the S25 has Samsung DeX, the desktop experience, while the A35 does not. Battery size, there is a big difference. The S25 has a smaller 4,000 milliamp battery versus the mid-range A35 has a 5,000 milliamp battery. So the flagship has a smaller battery versus the free device, which has a bigger battery. And that's one of the more important things out of this video is the battery size. They both charge with 25 watt wired charging, which will give you around 50% charge in 30 minutes. But the other difference is the S25 has wireless charging and reverse wireless as well, while the A35 doesn't have any of that. So if we're talking about which is the better device, overall specs are going to be better on the S25. It's more powerful. I think it's more portable. And it has just a faster amount of RAM. It's just a better, more powerful device. The camera system is better, but the A35, for being a free device, has some things that are just unbeatable. Bigger battery. It has the expandable micro SD card storage. It has a bigger overall screen. And those are just the takeaways for a free device. The S25 for $800, it hasn't changed much from its predecessor except having 12 gigs of RAM. But I think for most people with everyday tasks, you will be better off picking the A35 as a free device versus dropping $800 on the S25. This is the case in a lot of these devices. Unless you really want a powerful device with a great camera system, pick up the S25. But I think for most people, you're better off saving your money and getting a mid-ranger and still have some things that are just better than what's on the flagships. So that's been my comparison of differences in the Galaxy S25 and the Galaxy A35.